Hey guys and girls, B2. Today we're going to talk about coalition strategy, so stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right, so we're on technically day 6, but we're only on day 2 physical hours. But it's a 4X game. Things are moving incredibly fast. So I'm going to zoom out real quick. I'm going to talk about what's happened and what our next plan of attack is. So we did add DR Congo in. Really stoked to have Homeboy in because that cuts out this centerpiece that we were going to have to go attack while worrying about some very active players up here in this region. So the first phase of what's going to happen here is to finish out Angola. We pretty much stomped, a 4-on-1, but it's really just been a 2-on-1 with DR Congo grabbing some land and stopping. So we're waiting for him to log back in, grab these lands, take these 2 cities. We're going to have a little bit of a land grab in the corner from myself in Cameroon. Namibia is going to take these 2 cities. He's going to go grab Libido. He's pretty much hammered Lubango out with this artillery guy for about the past, day and a half or so. There shouldn't be anything in that city surviving. Even the buildings should be gone. So we're going to talk about buildings too, because I want to stop here. When I took Luanda, there was an army barracks here. What you immediately do is you hit this and you demolish the building, take the stuff out of there. Only for the army buildings, though. The reason why is when they get that land back, you don't want them to be able to put troops out right away. You want them to have to spend resources to build their barracks back up in case they take the land back. And you can use those because you're not going to be able to produce military units in there. If you look, I don't have the chance to mobilize it. The only way I could mobilize is by coming up here and annexing that, and look how pricey that is. It's just not worth it until late mid-game, early end-game, and by that point it doesn't matter, right? You're able to ship units all over the map within a day and a half, and you're usually, if you're in that phase, you're steamrolling anyway. No need to annex. I don't know why they don't make this just different, to be honest. Like, it's so confusing. What are you doing, Durango? So anyway, or Durango, El Dorado, hell if I know. So here we got, we're going to take DR Congo in and go grab Luena and Malanje, hopefully when they get up, and then we'll do a land grab here. Angola will be pretty much finito. So phase 2 is, I'm pretty stoked about phase 2. It's our next surge forward. So we had Kenya in here, and they were asleep. All of a sudden woke up and just went ham on Ethiopia. Totally out of the area that we wanted to focus on. We wanted to focus this side first, land grab and city grab all of this side of Africa, so that we could deal with a very active Egypt and Saudi. Saudi has 18 cities. They've expanded super quick. So if you look at the board right now in diplomacy, he's the number 1 player and the number 2 player, and Ethiopia was up there, but Kenya smashed Ethiopia, and good Lord, where'd they go? Ethiopia, right here, boom. So they fell to 4 cities and 70 VPs, man. Like you saw me, I was way down the leaderboard. I've only got 8 cities. I've only taken 2 since the beginning. I've been letting everybody land grab and take cities and kind of refereeing and sending stuff out. So I'm going to let Ethiopia just finish off, or Kenya finish off Ethiopia. I'm worried about Juba here, which is Egypt. So Egypt owns all of this. You can see this area that they own. Very, very good player from the start. I don't know them. I don't know their name as far as who they are. But if you look at the leaderboard, if you sort the VPs the other direction, you'll see that Egypt is like the number 5 person right now in the game. No surprise. And then the number 1 person, Jegs, is the other person of their alliance. So even if we smash Ethiopia, I totally believe they're just going to pick up a new player. So the other thing is here in Chad and Nigeria, they're allied. So if you look at our play right now, we've got to come out of this south part of Africa almost like a spear, and then attack from the sides and push and drive this wedge in here, cleaning up the edges. So what I'm going to have Namibia do, who is down here, they're already starting to look at naval stuff. So I'm going to have them come up, shoot up, and take this capital first for Abuja. Once you take the capital, it's so expensive to build a new one. It makes it tougher to keep things from going rogue, because rogue determines based on the proximity to your capital, and it just really messes up your country when you don't have a capital in there. And then come down to Lokoja and Harcourt, and then that would cut this side off, and eventually Lagos and up in this area Algeria, right? I'm going to line up and land grab this central region up to Madguri and take that so that we knock out 4 of those countries right away from Nigeria, who's over here. I'm going to have, so this will be Namibia here. It'll be me, Cameroon here. And then I'm going to have DR Congo take Berberati, SAR, and Bria. So boom, 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 right? So that would mean if I take these 2, we'd knock out 2 capitals for that 2-man alliance. That would really just hammer them. And then again, start here, land grab, take SAR, land grab, take Bria, push out the extension over here, and then probably go north to Abeche and take this land. Because what I'm going to do is have Mozambique get on the border of Juba and drive north to Khartoum, right? So I'm going to have them land grab what doesn't get grabbed over here from from Congo, and then Mozambique will come in here, and then that would help support Kenya making a run through Ethiopia. I hope that makes sense. And then we all push the borders up. So what will happen is if you don't push your borders evenly all the way out, you're going to end up with like this peninsula of where people can build an airport and jump in there and do some nasty stuff to you kind of in the middle of your country. Plus, right now, our war front is here. See the war front? This is exactly where people are at now. People can come down and take these cities on the side. So if you are in this sort of a setup, you want to place troops along your outer edges. Nobody really has naval units. They just don't use them. They're not powerful, but they're good at landing in any of these zones. Right now, you have to go to a harbor and go in there. So you only have to defend really just the harbors. You know what I mean? Doesn't that make sense? I know it does. And so once we clean Angola out, all these troops will flush north, and you'll start coming through. So I want to just show you a snapshot of the leaderboard real quick and talk through that. So because we're going to have some issues coming up soon, right? If you sort by teams and pull them to the top, like Germany, Ukraine, United Kingdom, Sweden, France doesn't play. Like they don't play right now because they're so far away from us. New Zealand, Japan, China doesn't play. Australia, Mexico, Canada, Brazil, U.S. doesn't play yet, right? They have their own continents to conquer right now. Kazakhstan, Pakistan, India doesn't play yet. Iraq, Israel, Turkey, Algeria, and Spain, like we're going to hit them. That's why I want to take out this wedge first, because Northwest Africa will be this Algeria, Spain, and they're doing pretty good, 8 and 10. These other guys, look, Iraq just got taken out by somebody, so there's heavy fighting, which means Israel and Turkey are going to get that fighting next. I have a feeling this alliance won't last more than another week of game time, another maybe 10 days of game time. We'll see what happens. Bolivia, Colombia, a 2-man, not worried about it. Look, they're both down to 1 city. They're getting hammered by somebody else too. Not sweating them. And then here's our alliance. We're doing good, anywhere between 11 to 7 on here. So I think we're in a good position for ours right now. Not a lot of heavy fighting. Morocco's down to 1, and Ethiopia is down to 4. So this alliance is not very strong outside of these 2 players. But I'm interested to see what happens, how Egypt responds. They've got 12 cities. We're gonna have to get in there and land grab and starve him out of resources. Chad and Nigeria, those are the 2 countries we're gonna go after. A total of 12 cities. This should run us up the board, each of us gaining 2 to 3 cities along the way and a bunch of land. So we should run up the leaderboard pretty quick on here. This one right here, Argentina, Venezuela, and Peru. This is the alliance that's taking out this other 2-man up here. I would imagine if we went and looked at the board. So I think we're in good position. I think we're strong. I think we added the right people down here to help out. I think this is rogues. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. That's rogues in Mali. And I believe Mali is probably fighting Morocco. Look, Morocco's split. So that went rogue as well. Yeah, so that's what happened to Morocco. They just don't have any cities left. They're going to have to gold themselves out of it because Spain came down and hammered them, and then as well as Algeria is making a move. So Algeria is growing fast, which they should. That's the right play. They take Tunis, and then they start moving out. But what they don't want to do is Libya right here. I don't think are they in an alliance? I don't know. Yeah, they're not in an alliance. They have 3 cities, so they're going to get squeezed between. See, Egypt is already making a play, which means I hope Egypt is extended and doesn't have a lot of units, which will give us an easier push north. So that's the strategy that we're going to use right now. I'm hoping that that they won't react super fast, but I don't see a lot of burning stuff. So yeah, here. So he's got, when it's burning like this, that tells me there's troops up here, even though I can't see them. And the same thing, Spain's got troops all in here. I don't see Spain. Spain and France aren't fighting. They must be allied. But look at Italy. Italy's getting hammered. That's a rogue state. That's a rogue state. So someone's moving fast and not protecting cities, which means they're just trying to knock people out of the game. Look at all these fires in Europe. That's about what Europe looks like today anyway, real life. There's just always something going on in Europe. So a lot of stuff happening on the map, a lot of expansion, and we're going to have to start moving quick. I hope that helps explain the strategy for why coalitions move the way they do, and how we're going to advance. One point to notice is that we talked about this with Namibia. He had Port Elizabeth, but he wanted to try to land grab, so he wanted to try to get up here. Left the city. When you're in the city, there's a little button down here when you own it, and I'll show you on one of my lands. I just took Luanda. If I have this and hover over it and click it, it's going to tell me that there's a 35% chance of insurgency when it hits midnight. So in 14 game hours, I'm going to try to get this unit back into that town, right? It looks like it's going to be too late, 04 time of day, so we're going to make that adjustment right now, right? If I go to here, and then back, how many game hours? 14:10. Oh, that's dangerous. Dangerous. Let's just do this. I'm not willing to let that city go to let's just go out and back. That'll give us some protection as far as seeing people coming, because I don't want that to go to rogue. I want it to go another day with no fire in there, and basically go to a place in morale where it's not going to go to a rogue activity. So I'm going to move my units back in there and make sure that this doesn't happen. He had to move these troops back in there and fight it, and so you can see he took a hit point rack there on being able to do that. Wow, I could actually replenish his troops. Not going to do it, but that's cool to know. So anyways, B2, hope you guys have enjoyed that video. A little bit about what we're doing. It's day 6 Cameroon. We'll probably film again maybe tomorrow night, give it another full day of activity.